And here's one of the most disturbing videos of the genre, recently captured just 250 miles north of here in Plano, Texas. What's happened to us? I mean, honestly, what has happened to us? That was performed in front of kids as young as 3 years of age. Sarah Gonzalez shot that video and in response launched Defend Our Kids Texas, an effort to get drag shows for the kids shut down. She joins me now along with Julie Pickern, who is a Houston parent and a school board candidate. Great to see you both. Now, Sarah, was it the drag show in Plano that concerned you to start the group, or was it building for some time?
It's been building for a really long time, and I said, I can't believe that this is happening in Texas, of all places. And especially the video that you just saw was not just happening in Texas. You might think Austin, Texas, right? Somewhere that's
Keep
deep
it weird,
blue. Yeah.
No.
This was taken where I grew up, in suburbia, right? I mean, this is an affluent neighborhood who you would consider to be very conservative leaning. I think the left is intentionally taking these shows, they're taking their debauchery to conservative places because they know if they can get it through in these conservative places, they can get it through anywhere in the country.
And Julie, the response from the left to parents like you and others who say, no, we're not doing this, I'm against this, I'm going to run for school board like you are. You're a hater, you're intolerant, you're just not letting people be who they are, et cetera. Your response?
So we're parents. Our children belong to us. Our children do not belong to the government. Our children belong to us. And so we've seen this radical agenda, from the National School Board Association writing the letter to the Biden administration, which, by the way, the president of the National School Board Association who wrote that letter is right here from the Houston area.
Oh.
So they kind of originated here in Texas. And then, we've seen it also with our state associations pushing this agenda to, this radical agenda with this transgender radicalization of our children and keeping parents out of the discussion. We've seen it in teacher professional development around the state of Texas on teaching our teachers on how to transgender children, how to refer them for counseling, and without informing the parent. And it's wrong. Our children belong to us.
Well, Sarah, the Texas Association of School Boards recently hosted a presentation led by the ACLU encouraging educators to consider the role in students' gender decisions, including pronoun use and access to public facilities. Now, I got to remind our viewers that the Texas Association of School Boards is a taxpayer-funded group. So why are Texans sending their tax dollars to indoctrinate our children in radical gender theory and to propagandize to innocent little kids? Why is that allowed here in Texas?
Yeah. It's a big problem. I think that it's not just showing up in Texas, but in places across the country that conservatives for so long have said, we're going to just, we want to live and let be. We want to take care of our families.
Oh, no.
We want to mind our own business. The time to act and get off the sidelines was 5 years ago, right? Because we've seen the left and how they've infiltrated in every facet of America, in our culture, in our schools, what you're talking about here with the school boards. I mean, they have infiltrated because they have been active and they have created activists, and they have done this for a very long time. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was completely intentional, and conservatives have just sat by and let it happen.
If they question this, whether it's shaking in front of a kid or the sexually explicit language in front of children, then you're called a bully.
Right.
The language is you're bullying, correct?
Correct. That's correct. And, Laura, honestly, we just do not have time for this right now. Your network today put out the national report card on literacy. We now have 32% of 8th graders in America are illiterate. Among Hispanics, it's 37%. We do not have time for this in education. We have to get back to the basics and keep this social agenda out of the classroom.
Now, we have a question, Sarah, from Andrea Gomez. Andrea.